Right. You know who else got too much firepower, Shane?
It's
Texas A&M, biggest fan.
Cousin Rick. Gig 'em, Aggies.
Thank you, Cousin Rick. Have a happy and blessed Thanksgiving. I wish the very best to all the Cousins teams till 6 o'clock on Friday. That beat the hell out of TU Giga.
Oh, man. What a good game, man.
So let's get into that final action here on Friday, Shane. A&M at Texas. A&M favored by 2.5 points. Over-unders 51.5 total points. 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central. Nationally televised on ABC. Who do you got in this one?
Oh, man. You know, it's funny. How many times have I gave up on Texas this year, right?
Too many.
Now, yeah, too many. And it seems like every time I'm like out, they're back. And then I look at A&M, and I keep waiting for that moment, that opportunity that they just kind of screw up the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just feels like maybe I've watched too many 8-4 seasons that I'm just like, it's a matter of time before this team implodes and is exposed for flaws. I don't think A&M has them, though. You know, I mean, seriously, this team is playing out of their damn mind, and I think Marcel Reed has done so much growing up from last season to this season. I feel like this defense, you talk about one of the most improved units compared to last season. It's unbelievable what Coach Elko's been able to do with that side. And, brother, this may be destiny. This may be destiny. However, is it little brother, big brother? I don't know. One of the brothers is coming over and they say, hey, we want a little piece of that pie. And you know what? We ain't afraid of them Aggies. Hell, they ran from us. They went to a different conference. We had to chase their ass over here. I feel like, man, this could be the game of the weekend. And I went round and round who to pick here because the scenarios of Texas needs it more than A&M and blah, 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 blah. It ain't like that. Coach Elko ain't like that, man. Coach Elko's doing something special down there in College Station. And I feel like the undefeated season continues one more weekend. Give me Texas A&M 28, Shorthorns 24, baby.
Oh, no. That's never good when you back A&M.
Yeah.
You should do them a favor and pick Texas.
Nope, I'm back on the wagon. I told you.
Well, there goes their playoff hopes. Ooh, yeah. I mean, the more I think about this game, Shane, I'm a little bit concerned that old Texas is just going to be one-dimensional.
Yeah.
They can't run the football. And A&M, you know, that's kind of where you can make your hay against A&M is running the football. But it doesn't matter if your offensive line can't block and your running backs are banged up. And
yeah.
I just don't think Arch can do it all by himself. I mean, do you think that's fair?
No, that is fair. They got to get the running game going.
Right. So, again, going in, and another thing I've been thinking a lot about, Shane, where A&M, they've been at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
They're at LSU. I know LSU, they've fallen off, but that was an elite environment when they walked into that stadium. Even Missouri, that was a nice environment. Just the point being, A&M, they're not going to be afraid to go into Texas. And I'm sure it'll be hostile. I'm sure it'll be nasty. But, you know, I think they will be largely unfazed by that. And what happens, Shane, if Arch Manning is running for his life, Cassius Howell Company getting after him? I'm worried about that as well. I do think Texas receivers, though, I think they could have a lot of success against this A&M secondary. That'll be a key to the game. Who wins the special teams battle? A&M's been very good there. Texas, well, they've been good too. The punt returns, but it's hard to get that image out of your head of the fake kickoff onside that Kirby did, isn't it? So
yeah,
I would even give the edge to A&M there, but I just can't shake it, Shane. All off season, we had to hear about Texas 8-4. They're back, baby. Texas 8-4 scores 30. Texas A&M. 35. The real 8-4 is you, Austin. So suck on that one. You know what?
Damn, double cousin cursed them. Damn, A&M. Well, they may not have to go to the championship now, right? This might be a good thing, a blessing in disguise.
All right, sticking with the Friday game, Steven, this very well could be the game of the weekend, not only in the SEC, but maybe the country. Texas A&M, Steven, undefeated on the road against Texas, mighty, maybe 8-4 Texas. A&M favored by 2.5 points in Austin. What? 51.5 total points, 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central, nationally televised on ABC. Steven's squad against America's squad. Who wins it, Texas or Texas A&M?
Mike, I think this is the game that there's 2 or 3 games this week that have been very difficult to figure out. And this is on the list for sure. Because it is very hard in college football to go undefeated in the regular season. If A&M does it, I know people want to pick apart their schedule and say they haven't played this opponent, that opponent. Well, still, going undefeated in college football is hard. And so if A&M can do this on Saturday, deserve a ton of credit. Rivalry games, and especially with this one, the fact that it's starting up again in the SEC is just glorious to begin with. But you've got Texas trying to play spoiler. Faint playoff hopes. I think after the committee made a dumb decision to put Michigan over Texas, their hopes are probably over, barring some kind of chaos on this weekend. So they're just playing to play spoiler. But Mike, I think you also mentioned something on the Monday show that's important. Is this game could be kind of one of those narrative setters. And, if A&M loses this game, it's, well, look at their schedule. They didn't play Georgia. They didn't play Alabama. They didn't play Ole Miss. And you could say Texas, despite the disappointment, if Arch Manning plays well, you could say, okay, this is the start of something in 2026. So I think there's a chance to kind of set a narrative there for both teams, but also in the big picture, Mike. I mean, this game always means a lot just for bragging rights and recruiting. So when we kind of boil this down to a matchup, I think the one matchup that just stands out has got to be what happens in the trenches. Because I do think Arch Manning has played a lot better the last couple of weeks. I think there's a chance that he could have a good game on Friday as well. But I think none of that matters if Texas can't run the ball, if they can't protect. And on the other side of the ball is it's going to be a lot of hard yardage against that Texas defensive line. Don't know about Anthony Hill and the status of of course, they're going to be missing a linebacker in the first half due to targeting. But it feels like if you just want to boil this down to the basics, Texas A&M's got I think a pretty sizable edge in the trenches, and that might be the difference on Friday.
Yeah, and if you are in a situation where you're putting Mike Elko in the spot to dial up pass pressures for the entire game, I think Texas is in real trouble. Different story if they had a better offensive line, but they got talent, but they've not looked too good this year, have they?
Yeah, 100%. And Mike, I think one other point of intrigue is if you've watched Texas the last couple of weeks, they've set up that Ryan Wingo screen pass. Like, are they setting up something on Friday night, like a fake to Wingo and a deep pass to somebody? I mean, they've done it every game. So I'm curious to see what they're setting up, if at all. But I think, that's kind of just the nuts and bolts of this game is if you're Texas A&M, the edge on the offensive line, you've got one of the best in the country. Texas is very good up front. How that battle plays out is going to be like a clash of strength on strength. And then Marcel Reed's mobility, playmaking ability, through the air with Concepcion and Craver, getting those guys probably healthy over the last couple of weeks really helps A&M in this spot. You flip it around, and I think this is what worries me for Texas. If you can't run the ball, I think it's going to be like a lot of the Georgia game where Arch was trying to execute at a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 9 all night. I've said it before, Mike. I don't care if it's Mahomes. I don't care if it's Josh Allen, Tom Brady, Terry Bradshaw, whoever you want to put back there. You're not going to win a lot of games rushing for 50 or 60 yards and asking your quarterback to win at a 3rd and 9, and especially when his receivers have been inconsistent in catching the ball. I am curious to see what Sark has. I mean, I think Sark and Elko, the X's and O's battle is going to be pretty fun. But I still think, as we can talk about Manning, we can talk about Reed, we can talk about all the skill talent. To me, it does not matter. Whichever team wins the trenches is going to win on Friday night.
Have you given it any consideration that Texas is undefeated at home this year? Now, they have not played the best schedule at home. But, yeah, again, they haven't lost at home. Meanwhile, A&M, I think that was the biggest sticking point for me this offseason was they can't win all these road games. I mean, I didn't even think they'd win the all three in the middle there. Yet
Yeah,
they did that. They won at Notre Dame, of course, and now they got to try to go 5 for 5. I mean, what is have you factored that in at all? There's just the fact that Texas hasn't lost at home, but A&M hasn't lost on the road. I would imagine at LSU, at Notre Dame, basically, I don't think A&M's walking in anything they've not seen this year. Do you think that's fair?
I think that is. I think on the road question, Mike, I mean, we have seen that against Notre Dame and against Arkansas, their defense did struggle. I mean, it gave up 40 points in those games. So, I think on the road is way different. The fact that this is the first time the SEC rivalry has been in Austin, of course, it was a good one in College Station last year. There's going to be a lot of energy on Friday night in Austin for this game. But also, if you played at Notre Dame, if you played at LSU, if you played at Missouri this year, and you've checked off all those boxes, I think A&M will be ready on Friday for this one.
Now, Texas is really good stopping the run, going up against this A&M offensive line you gave credit to. How many rushing yards do you think A&M wins, or excuse me, how many rushing yards do you think A&M has to achieve to win this game?
Probably over 100. I know that's probably a boring answer. Against Notre Dame, it was 128. Against Arkansas, it was 217. So you kind of got two wide variances there, but I think at least over 100 here. I think, and also, Mike, we should mention, I mean, has Texas cleaned up any of the communication issues on defense we saw the last couple of weeks? Because, if you're going against a quarterback like Reed who can make plays on the ground, and you've got these receivers who are pretty slippery and fast, I mean, I think I'd want to have all that cleaned up before I go into Friday night's game.
Yeah, you got to wonder if Colin Klein's over there licking his chops. Steven, last season, this matchup, a lot of people came out of it saying, well, Colin Klein, he ain't it. Marcel Reed, got to upgrade from his ass. And he may win the Heisman. Colin Klein may be the Broyles winner. So, but they got to finish the deal because this is the game that matters the most in this state. So give us an answer, Steven. Who wins? Texas A&M at Texas.
Mike, I almost flipped a coin here because I do think it is hard to win every game. It is hard to win a rivalry game on the road. I just keep coming back to one thing. I just think A&M is better in the trenches. And so I think Elko and their defense, they're going to scheme up something in the fourth quarter. They're going to stop a late drive by Texas. Give me the Aggies 27, Texas 24, and A&M completes the 12-0 season and clinches a trip to the SEC championship game.
Well, if it happens like that, Steven,